So as you may have seen just now, we got the Redline up to these insane speeds. But before we get to that, I would ask that you please subscribe. I have recently reached 10,000, and I am just so grateful for every one of you, and each subscriber just helps me out a ton. Also, I'm going to be doing another giveaway. Just comment your username and like and subscribe. That is all I ask. Anyways, let's get started with today's video. Basically, how I made it go this fast is with a glitched engine. It is glitched so that it has a way higher top speed than it should normally have and accelerates slower the faster it gets. Now, where would you find this engine? It quite literally can spawn anywhere outside of spawn, actually. On the outside, it will just look like a normal engine. It can come in the form of a circle engine, normal engine, or even V8 if you're lucky. So what is different about it? You'll know it is glitched if it has 5 out of 5 liters of oil in it, or just the max amount of oil. If you try to fill a normal engine to make it glitched, it simply won't work. It has to spawn with a full engine of oil. Now these spawn in abundance in the gas station or even the Chinese New Year place sometimes. I personally found mine at the Chinese New Year stop. It was a circle engine with 5 out of 5 liters of oil filled, so you know it is glitched. You can also find them sometimes in garages or more commonly in ghost town. If it spawns with anything less than the max amount of gas, the glitch just won't work. For example, here I have these 2 engines with unfilled oil tanks at the gas station. They are just regular, so just leave them behind. This glitch works the best with Redline due to it being super light, even light enough to be pushed around while with handbrake on. It's somehow even lighter than the little Juno car. This technically works with other cars, but I've found it most successful with the Redline. Others struggle with using this due to their weight. They simply cannot pick up speed like the Redline can. Let's drive a little. You won't have to worry about gas or anything with the Redline. Let's test top speed. This accelerates as any car would, but you know it's different if after it reaches its former top speed, it keeps slowly accelerating. That means it's not even halfway done accelerating. The speedometer should be able to make a loop, making for a top speed of about 600 kilometers per hour. Note that all glitched engines have the exact same top speed. It's just that the acceleration might be different. I actually want to go to Ghost Town to try to find a glitched V8, so let's go do that now. A single glitched circle engine should be enough to last you all the way to Ghost Town. They somehow take less gas than non-glitched engines, so we were able to arrive at the Ghost Town relatively easily. Now let's just take some time and sweep them all with this beautiful pumpkin launcher. And that's the last of the cowboy mutants. Now let's see what we can find here in Ghost Town. Looks like all we really could find is this nail gun. Now let's look for that legendary glitched V8 engine. They generously spawned 2 for us, and the latter one is glitched. Again, if it spawns with full oil, it is a glitched engine, no matter the brand. This was a pretty mid-Ghost Town, to be honest. This water gun is one of the best things I found, sadly. And when things couldn't get worse, this random van tries to assassinate me. Looks like it missed and went for my car instead. I guess my luck was used in the wrong places, as we found an 8-slot backpack just moments later. If any of you guys want to come along for a future video, let me know in the comments. I can try to get another 8-slot backpack for you guys. Anyways, now let's perform an engine swap and test out this V8. It is glitched, so it should go super fast with better acceleration than the circle engine. If you're also doing this, don't forget to empty the car and refill it with diesel. That looks about right. This was all the diesel I could find from Ghost Town. Now let's test out this new engine. I honestly love how it accelerates. It's smooth and somewhat aggressive, but not too incredibly aggressive to the point where you lose control. Acceleration past the former speed limit seems to be a lot faster too. Previously, with the circle engine, I couldn't even pass 400 kilometers per hour without crashing since it took so long to accelerate. As we increase in speed, looks like the Redline is starting to shake a lot and gets unstable. I genuinely think they forgot to add suspension or any sort of dampening for this car, since it feels like I'm driving a brick on wheels right now. As you can see on the speedometer, it's made an entire loop around the speedometer and still went to 280. That means we are going over 600 kilometers per hour right now. Well, that is really unfortunate. But let's see how much diesel we've burned through already. It surprisingly barely used any of the 3 fluids. This car was built for long distances, as you can see. Let's try to push the top speed one more time. I feel like it can go a lot faster under the right circumstances. We will actually be heading backwards this time. The way back is actually downhill, which can help us accelerate way faster than before. We just need to watch out for Ghost Town and to not miss the road and crash straight into a building. I'm gonna be honest, this is probably one of the hardest cars to steer at these high speeds. It's obvious it wasn't built to withstand going at almost supersonic speeds. My steering inputs feel more like steering suggestions at this point. I'm just hoping that the car... Looks like I've been rudely interrupted again. All fluids are almost the exact same as they were before. You probably won't need to ever refill this thing, considering that the map just breaks down after 100 kilometers. I feel like this can go a lot faster given time. We're gonna just take the uphill this time and dodge the obstacles as best as we can. But I think it can go past 600 kilometers per hour. It wouldn't make sense for it to have a limit for the speed. And looks like we are approaching our former record. Unfortunately, it gets so hard to drive at these speeds that you are just bound to crash almost immediately. The car wheels are just so bouncy that you can't really steer at all since the wheels are off the ground. I'm not even really surprised at this point. There was not much steering I could have done. But hey, that was a pretty cool flip. Embarrassingly enough, the car can't actually be driven during storms. Why, you ask? Well, this light car frame comes with its consequences. If you attempt to drive during a storm, the wind will quite literally push your car off the map. Trying to drive against the wind or pulling the handbrake quite literally does nothing. So the only thing you can really do is just park your car with handbrake and hope the tires don't lose traction. This car is so fragile as well. After driving for a while at 600 kilometers per hour, one of the wheels snapped itself into the car due to the pressure. So be careful when driving. Lastly, we're going to reduce all this extra weight by throwing off this garbage to see if it can go even just a little bit faster than before. Well, not exactly a noticeable difference, but I'd say it is slightly more stable, but not any faster. Downside is that you can't really bring along any more fluids. So if you run out, it's game over. That'll be it for today's video. Be sure to subscribe and tell me how this glitch goes for you. Have a blessed day.